Hi there, welcome back to Star Trek Online. I'm Bull, and what I'm going to do today is take you around the Fleet Starbase, kind of show that off and let everybody see what the Fleet Starbase looks like. I am currently in the Fleet Starbase system. If you're not familiar with the Fleet Starbase system, well, first off, you have to be in a fleet. But the Fleet Starbase is in the Eddie Eridani block, which is directly south of Sirius for the main Federation space. The Federation Fleet Starbase is in the lower left-hand side. The Klingon Fleet Starbase is in the same block, but all the way on the other side, on the upper right-hand side. What I'm showing is obviously the Federation Starbase. The Klingon one is similar, and I can show you a basic Klingon one at a later time. So for the moment, this is our Starbase. We currently have a Tier 2 Starbase. They start off pretty crappy looking, and then they slowly get bigger and better looking as you level them up. There's 3 tiers, and they're pretty tough to do, especially because I'm part of the RPGNet Fleet Vanguard Group Omega, and the VGO fleet is currently pretty small. We only have a handful of active members, and the starbases are really designed to be optimally around fleets with 20 or more active members. And since we have, maybe half of that on a good day, well, it takes forever to level up the base. Anyways, so real quick, we'll show you. What's cool is you have the various fleet operational asset thingies. And you get freighters flying in and out just to give it color. The freighters don't really do anything. You have a transwarp. One of the earlier projects you get to do lets you build the transwarp gate. And once you have the transwarp gate, that actually gives you access to your starbase as one of your transwarp destinations. We are currently upgrading to the Tier 2 transwarp, which is pretty cool. And one of the neat things about the transwarp that a lot of people don't realize is that if you fly up close enough to them, you actually get a little pop-up so that you can actually go to different places. Like right now, I could go Federation space. Well, I'm not on cooldown, but I could actually go to Vulcan, Risa, Regulus, or Gateway in the Picana system. And then eventually you'll be able to go to Romulan space, Cardassian space, and the front lines, which I think is Klingon space, but I'm not positive. And then there's other stuff you'll build up. There's your shipyard, your replicator, fabricator, and as you do those projects and level them up, the various pieces get bigger and bigger outside here too, which is pretty cool. The other neat thing about the Fleet Starbase is that if you do fleet the fleet missions in the PvE, Starbase Fleet Defense, the Federation Starbase Blockade, Federation Fleet Alert, any of the space-based ones, you actually go to somebody in the group's starbase and actually fight over their actual starbase. So it's kind of neat. Unfortunately, they don't currently have any implementation for you to put your fleet logo or anything on the starbase, so it's tough to tell sometimes whose starbase you're fighting over. But, it's not really that big a deal. So I'm going to dock and show you guys the inside. Now, we've actually put quite a bit of work into building up our starbase, and while we're only Tier 2, so it's not a real big starbase yet, we have managed to buy a fair number of the fleet projects. And the fleet projects they're special projects that allow you to decorate the fleet. So, well, we come in the transporter room, and one of the first things you can see is we have the 2012 holiday decoration, the Breen ship, from Q's Winter Wonderland. And you can toggle that on or off if you get close enough to it. Yeah, hide the Winter 2012 decoration. turn it off, turn it back on. So if you don't like that big thing there. And I imagine that as they do more of the holiday events, there might be different ones you can cycle through. I'm not sure. It'd be kind of cool if there was. Another one of the projects that we've done is we got tribbles. And I love the tribbles because you can kick them. And I keep saying that one of these days I want to get a bunch of our fleet guys in here, and we're going to play a game of soccer with one of these tribbles. Goal! Alright, so the tribbles was one of our decoration projects. Another one of our decoration projects was gave us these, which is really cool. It's the various Federation uniforms from various canon sources. So you've got Enterprise, you've got the original series, you've got the motion picture, Wrath of Khan, Next Gen, Deep Space Nine, you've got the spacesuit, and then the last three are the various, we'll zoom in here a little bit, these are the various STO costumes. The red one here is the main official uniform that everybody wears. You'll see those. This is the Jupiter outfit, and then this is the Mako armor. Another one of the fleet decoration projects gave us these little plants and stuff all over the place. Another one gave us this fish tank, which ended up being really, really cool looking. I was kind of iffy on the fish tank when I saw it going in, but yeah, I actually really am happy with it. Another one gave us these little panels, these lighted panels that are on these pillars. Another one gave us this, which is pretty cool, shows the various enterprises through time. So you've got the classics, the original ships, the Star Destroyer. Yeah, yes, that's the Star Destroyer Enterprise right there. The aircraft carrier, the space shuttle. I'm not familiar with this one, and then of course the NX from the TV show Enterprise, the original Enterprise from the original series. Yada yada yada. And then all the way down to the Sovereign and the Odyssey Enterprise from this game. And then upstairs we've got a couple more cool things. Like I said, I mean, nothing huge, but they're kind of neat. You got your bar area up here, and this guy here, Nemo Jones. Nemo Jones is will let you turn off the tribbles if you want. And he's actually the grandson or whatever of Cyrano Jones, who was of course the cause of the original tribble infestation in the original Trouble with Tribbles original series episode. So you got a chef, which I don't think we've unlocked him yet. Nope. We have a bartender, which we have managed to unlock. He's over here. Good old Ferengi bartender. We have, there's a meeting room over here, and you can see there's some ships on display, which is kind of neat. And if we go over to here, this is our requisitions area. And down here we get, you can buy various pieces of gear. Well, that was fun. I paused the game to clear my throat and take a drink of water, paused my recording, and then forgot to start recording again. So I just did about 10 minutes of wandering and explaining, and I goofed. But, you know, that's how I roll. I'm an idiot some days. So, and I get to share with all of you. So, anyways, Fleet Ground Supplies Officer here. This is a store that you can buy ground weapons and ground armor and stuff. It's pretty cool. They're really nice. They're ultra rares, which is pretty cool. So that means they've got 4 tag thingies. I don't know what they call those. You know, your crit, your accuracy, whatever. In this case, they have 3 times damage. All of the fleet weapons have 3 times damage. And some of the guys on the forum kind of give that a little bit of a poo-poo because they're like, oh, well, it's not optimal. You're better off with having big crit bonuses, crit chance, crit severity, whatever. Which is probably true. But unless you're doing like hardcore fleet, unless you're doing hardcore STF run, elite STFs, it's not really all that useful in my opinion. You can do just fine with the plus damage. And I don't play the game to be hardcore. I am not elite. I just like to have fun. I like to play the game. So plus damage would work just fine for me. And then you got Crit X, which gives you crit chance and a crit severity bonus. A chance to do damage over time, or a chance for knockback. So those are your 3 main weapons, and then there's 1 of each type of weapon. And I believe, yeah, they have anti-proton, disruptor, phaser. So there's a variation for all the different weapon types. So, and then there's pistols, assault weapons, rifles. You've also got armor, shields, and melee. So if you want to rock out a Lurpa, you can do that. So there's some pretty nice stuff. They're not terribly expensive, not real cheap. Like the armors you can see here, 16,000 fleet credits, 3,750 dilithium. The weapons are a little bit more, 26.8 and 10,000 dilithium. Over here we have the operations guy. Now the operations quartermaster, when you're doing fleet actions, you can buy operational assets. The operational assets are a whole bunch of different stuff. And there's engineering, military, and science fleet operations things. But basically these give you bonus stuff that can happen during fleet actions. Fleet actions, of course, are in the PvE queue, they're the ones that give you the fleet marks, the colony invasion, starbase fleet defense, Federation starbase blockade, Federation fleet alert, Federation starbase incursion. And these give you all kinds of different stuff, from buffs to healing to bringing in additional support in like extra ships, extra ground support. You've got boosts, and the boosts do cool things. They'll give you plus, like this one gives you +1 engineering skills for 4 hours. And then there's also, you can buy a thing that'll give you extra fleet marks. Similar to what you can get in the various lock boxes. There's a fleet mark item in there, I believe. And then over here, there's a tailor. We haven't unlocked our tailor yet. That's a higher level tier. And as with the embassy, the tailor will give you a costume unlock once you unlock that. And then there is your space supplies guy. So you can buy space weapons, and again, it's a little bit of everything. And like the ground weapons, they do damage ×3, and they have the chance for accuracy, crit severity, and crit chance. And then there's also engines, shields, and deflectors. Okay, so, and then you can see we have there's some cool decorations. I'll be honest, I'm not sure if this was here by default or if this was part of one of the projects we did. Unfortunately, I didn't really think to come check out the base until we'd done the first few projects, so I'm not sure what it looked like when it was completely barren. And I apologize, I'm coughing a little bit. I've been fighting off a little bit of a sore throat and a cold, and and talking like this isn't helping things. One of the other cool projects was, see, if you look up, you can see all the space around us. We actually just opened that up. That was actually the very first fleet project, but we didn't get that one done. And basically there were doors, a dome, covering this. So it was all enclosed originally. And then we opened up the dome and we could see space, and it is amazing. The difference between closed and open was just unreal. So anyways, down here, you have your Officer of the Watch, and he gives out a daily quest, daily mission that lets you earn 5 fleet marks, which I don't bother doing because it's 5 fleet marks, and 5 fleet marks don't get you very far. There's various consoles you can unlock. This is Duty Officer Management, which we can't do anything with yet because it's not unlocked. We got our bank. We've got mail. We do have those unlocked. This is really cool. There's a file commendation report. When you're doing your commendation stuff, your commendation advancement, rank 4 is 100,000 CXP, commendation experience. You can continue to earn experience, though, above 100,000. And the reason is when you hit 110,000 or more, you can choose to file a commendation report. The commendation report will spend 10,000 XP of your CXP. And it's a DOF assignment, just like any other DOF assignment, so you can crit it. On a success, it gives you 75 fleet marks. On a crit, it gives you 100 fleet marks, I believe. 100 or 125, I think 100. So once you've maxed out your CXP, your various commendation ranks, this is a fairly decent way to earn fleet marks every few days. If you keep on top of your DOF assignments. And then you've got probably the coolest guy, the coolest thing you can unlock. You can't unlock him until sometime into Tier 1. And he doesn't get really cool until you hit Tier 2. And this is your personnel officer. At Tier 1, and once you unlock him, he will sell common quality duty officers. These are completely random. They can be anything from your tactical, military, to engineering, science, to civilians. You can even get refugees out of these. However, fleet projects take a crap ton of common DOFs. So this is a good way early on if you've got fleet credits to burn, because they do cost fleet credits. They're a good way to help fill in those projects. And if you end up with extra DOFs that you can't do anything with, you can always sell them on the exchange because these do not lock to your account. And then as you level up, you can eventually unlock uncommon, rare, and very rare. And again, like I said, these are completely and utterly random, but they're a good place to be able to spend some of your fleet credits, especially if you do a lot of project donation like I do, and you end up with a metric ton of fleet credits. Now, one thing to note is that you will not get as many fleet credits back as you spent when you donate these guys. I believe donating a common quality officer gets you 300 fleet credits. So I spend 500, I get 300 back, so I'm taking a net loss of 200. But to me, that's well worth it to be able to to donate towards our projects. And more importantly, it's a lot cheaper in the long run for me than buying the DOFs, which is what I was doing early on. And which is what you're kind of stuck doing before you unlock this guy. Anyways, once you hit Tier 2, though, you can actually get engineering, science, and tactical duty officer specific guys. These cost a little bit more than the complete randoms. Like I said, the random guys give you anything. The These guys will give you, there's each of them, that's the wrong window. Each category, view roster, there we go. There we go, collapse all. Each category has two types. There's like for military, there's tactical and security, engineering and operations, science and medical. So your engineering personnel actually gets you engineering and operations. And it's random whether it's engineering or operations. So, and a lot of times you'll need 20 engineering and 20 operations, for example. So sometimes you got to kind of juggle a little bit if you're buying these guys for that. But the nice thing is you know if you're buying the fleet engineering, you're going to get a yellow officer, a yellow shirt. You're not going to get a red shirt. You're not going to get a blue shirt. So they're a little bit more expensive. Like I said, $750 instead of $500 for the randoms, but it narrows it down a lot, and it helps you really helps you focus your DOFs for when you're trying to fill out DOF projects. And of course, science and technical. And eventually, as you tier up, you will get you can unlock uncommon, rare, and even very rares. So again, good place to spend your fleet credits. And as a note, even if you're not working towards building up a project, you can buy these guys and sell them. So if you've got a surplus of fleet credits, you can buy DOFs and sell them on the exchange and make yourself a tidy little profit. So that is our personnel area. What else do we have to show you? We're going to head over to the elevator, to the turbo lift, and we can go to engineering, science, or tactical. We're going to go to tactical. And of course, the Starbase has pretty standard architecture for Federation buildings. Oh yeah, one of the other fleet projects we did actually gave us security guards posted all over the place, which is kind of cool. The random dudes wandering around, like this yellow shirt over here, they come with the place. They give it a little bit of flavor. So anyways, this is our tactical operations area. And there's a tactical officer, which gives us military and espionage duty officer missions. These are going to be slightly different than the ones that your ship officers will give you. So it's not necessarily a bad idea to check there occasionally if you're looking for specific missions. We have an Andorian personnel officer, which we haven't unlocked yet. But I believe he will give you assignments that you can get Andorian duty officers. Huh. Security officer. He's actually in an interesting outfit. I think that's a variation of the cadet academy uniform, which is weird. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody wandering around with a uniform like that. Down here you can change out your ships. There's a ship and shuttle requisition, and this is one of the coolest things about a Fleet Starbase, is that as you one of the things you build up is your fleet shipyard. So eventually you can buy fleet versions of a lot of the starships. And with a couple of exceptions, the fleet version of a ship is better, a little bit better than the standard version. Generally speaking, the fleet versions have one extra console slot of whatever is appropriate. Like, so for escorts, they get one extra tactical console, which makes a couple of them really, really nasty. The Fleet Defiant, which is what I'm eventually going for, 5 tactical consoles. Oh yeah. They also get a 10% hull bump and a 10% shield bump, making them a little bit more solid than the standard. Now, the trick to them, though, is that they cost 20,000. Well, they cost fleet credits, but most of the fleet ships also cost what they call fleet modules and fleet provisions. Fleet modules are bought off of the Zen store for 500 Zen each. Many of the ships cost 4 fleet modules. If you have a ship that has a Zen version, regular, like I have the Tactical Escort retrofit from the Zen store. Because I have that, the fleet one only costs 1 fleet module instead of 4. If I did not have the Zen store version, this would cost me 4 fleet modules. And then it also costs fleet provisions. And a lot of the stuff in here actually costs provisions. When you're doing fleet projects, and I suppose this is a good time to bring that up. Alright, so you have fleet, when you're doing your fleet, there's military, engineering, and science. You have 3 categories. And each category that you unlock gives you something. There's the communications array, which, to be honest, I'm not entirely sure what it does. Starbase shields buff, which I think just makes the starship's shields a little bit better for when you're doing fleet actions. And then you can unlock contacts, you get the sick bay, you get your transwarp conduit that lets you go to various places, and some of the various operational aspects. But, and we'll show you this, the various projects you can slot will give you XP. Some of them give you just XP, but some of them will give you XP and things like Starbase operational asset provisions, science personnel requisition provisions. And like I said, you need those for some of the specialized stuff you can buy. So it's important to actually have built up some of that stuff, and you can see what provisions your Starbase has by looking in the provision slot. It's not really that big a deal. As long as you're leveling up, you will get some of this stuff. If you have a very active fleet that is buying a lot of the toys that the Starbase has, that it's possible then they're going to start running out of this stuff, and you'll need to actually do the provisions missions. But for a smaller fleet, you can pretty much largely ignore the provisions requirements, because just through normal leveling up, you should earn enough provisions to take care of your average need. So, anyways, yes. And as you'll build up the shipyard through and the various other things as you tier up. Alright, and I believe that's the main stuff we can do here. So let's head back up to the turbo lift. Go to engineering. Because engineering is always fun. Let's see, which way should we go? I think this is a dead end. Yes. I don't actually wander around the lower halls of the Starbase all that often. Alright, we've got this little area here, which has cool glowy thingies. And Starbase crew, but there doesn't actually seem to be anything here. Oh, no. Engineering officer, and the engineering officer will give us the standard stuff, same type of stuff you can get on your starship, assembling repair components, batteries. You can assemble your prototypes, the consoles, the torpedo platforms, etc. And you can get some duty officer assignments. And then, nope. Where is the main? Oh. Of course, it's the store right across from where I came in. Alright, so up here we can talk to the ship customizer, which we haven't unlocked yet. But that would work just like the ones in the Starbase. Tellarite Duty Officer, which I would assume gives us access to Tellarite Duty Officer stuff. Ops Operations, which lets us do special projects so we can do the holodeck performance of Hamlet, which, let me tell you, if you haven't done it, do it. Do it early, do it often. It takes a crap ton of DOFs, 19 DOFs to fill it. However, getting a critical performance on it will give you this duty officer I just highlighted, actually, William Shakespeare, who is a photonic quartermaster with a whole crapload of traits. He's actually really good, really good quartermaster and a good DOF in general to have. And you'll notice that there are interesting icons next to the duty officer's positions here. The reason for that is that there are actually holographic actors, including Hamlet, Ophelia, all the characters from the Hamlet play. The Ferengi lockboxes have a chance to drop a fragment of a photonic holonovel, I believe it is. Or fragment of a holonovel, whatever. And when you use those, you have a chance to get a random character from the Hamlet holonovel. And some of them are common, so you'll obviously get them far more often. And then there's, Hamlet, the King, whatever. They're all very rare, so harder to get. But, yeah, definitely do Shakespeare as often as possible, because it's well worth it. And we have cool things here. And you've got your engineer repair officer, which will repair your ship. I believe you actually have to unlock him, and we have him unlocked. And that is the operations area, the engineering. So then let's head to science. This would be our sick bay. Alright, we have Science Officer, which will let us do the science-y stuff and give us science assignments. We have a Vulcan Personnel Officer. There's a skill retrainer, which we haven't unlocked yet, but we'll let you do your retrain your skills, which is cool. Yeah, eventually, once the Starbase, especially once between the Starbase and the Embassy, once you get the two of those leveled up pretty good, frankly, you never need to actually go to one of the main Starbases, pretty much ever again, except for special circumstances. All right, we got a medical officer, same thing, medical assignments, regenerators, hypopacks. Got some sickbay beds. Medical treatment officer, so you can heal your characters up if they take injuries, doing elite stuff. Elite stuff or PvP, I think. Again, I don't really do either of those, so I'm not entirely positive how that side of the game works all that much. And we have another section here where there is a force field. And there is an officer here. Is it? Nope, yep, I just missed it. Bridge officer trainer, which again, we don't have unlocked yet, but eventually you can unlock that and you can train your bridge officers up down here. And that is the Federation Starbase. And you can see when if nobody's in the main area, any of the stuff that you can turn off does reset, unfortunately. It resets back to default, which for this is on. So, because I shut the tribbles off before I went downstairs. And if another player had been here, the tribbles would have stayed off. but because nobody else was here, this area basically reset to default. So I'm really impressed with the Starbase. There's a couple of other projects we're still working on. We have most of the Starbase projects actually, which is pretty cool. Currently, we are working on first one, then the other, which will add a dance floor and a DJ to the Starbase interior, and I imagine that's going to go over to here because there's this big open area next to the bar. After that, we are going to work on it's not showing up as to what it is. I don't know the name of it. Unfortunately, when you have you have to be a high enough officer to actually see see and to be able to sign the upcoming next. So if you're not an officer in your Starbase, you're getting a little peek at how this works. Otherwise, this would all just be one thing that would show the limited time, the first one, then the other project. But anyways, this will add Morn and some Latinum traders to our bar area. So we're working on the bar upgrades right now. And hopefully if we can get the 2 of those done in the next month, we'll slot the new featured project, which gives us some exocomps wandering around. Which is kind of but you know, I like the I like all the cool toys and stuff you can get for here. The fleet projects are expensive though, especially for our smaller fleets. 200,000 each dilithium. So it's quite a little investment. But like I said, I mean, when we started the Starbase stuff up and I saw the 200,000 dilithium cost for the projects, I came and went, yeah, are you guys crazy? I'm never going to bother with that stuff. But the first couple of them got done, and I still donated some dilithium towards them because, you know, hey, it's our fleet, and, you know, people were working on the project, so it seemed like, you know, it wasn't fair to them not to help contribute some. And once I saw the first couple of projects, you know, it really made the fleet stand out. If you've seen my embassy video, you'll see how empty the embassy is right now. And that's very much how the fleet Starbase was, because, you know, you didn't have any of these decorations, you didn't have the tribbles, the Breen ship, none of this stuff. So this was just this, and you couldn't even see space. So it was just this huge, open, just empty room that was just boring. So it's pretty cool. I like the decorations quite a bit. I think it's something worth doing. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention there's also a counselor, which we haven't unlocked yet, but that'll give you the counselor duty. So, like I said, you get all the benefits of the stuff you can do on your ship, and eventually get all the benefits of the stuff you can do on a Starbase. So anyways, that is the embassies. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.